Hey guys, the Fight Bananas podcast is supported by Daniel Martinez, the law offices of Daniel Martinez. I solve problems. Guys, give him a call at any time at 877-5-RIGHTS. That's 877-5-RIGHTS. Or check out the website at martinez.law. Daniel Martinez, the law offices of Daniel Martinez, in your corner. 877-5-RIGHTS. Also, check out Fusion CBD products. Check out the website at fusioncbdproducts.com. Guys, you know I drink the waters. 6-pack for $19.50. It's an incredible deal. Also, lately, I've been using the CBD Instant Rub. There's a relief rub and also a CBD cream and muscle for joint pain. Guys, make sure you go to fusioncbdproducts.com right now. Hit them up on Instagram at fusioncbd and check out the website at fusioncbdproducts.com. Hello, world. What's up, guys? Dave Van Auken, Fight Bananas podcast. Absolutely humongous, packed episode, right? I don't know if you can hear it. I am definitely under the weather. It's life. It's 2020. It's tough. You know, it's tough. Not as tough as the fighters that you're about to listen to. It's the Bare Knuckle Week. Bare Knuckle FC 14 is this Friday. It's on Friday the 13th. So fitting that it's on that Friday the 13th. Scary, monsters, all that wrapped in one. And on the Fight Bananas podcast to kind of wrap up Bare Knuckle FC Week, we're going all in with, I think, the greatest fighter ever underneath the Bare Knuckle FC banner, Jim the Bare Knuckle Beast Alers. We got our main man, Uli the Monster Diaz, and Kenmon the King Evans. And all three interviews are, they're great. I like how Jim, long story short, Jim is definitely, he knows what's on the line. I think he knows how big of a fight this is and going forward. And I really think he would love to bury the hatchet, bury the rivalry, bury the animosity, and move forward for the sport. You can argue Lewis and Jim are the two highest, best fighters underneath the banner. So to move forward and to put good limelight on the sport, I think Jim is definitely looking forward to that. And then also we're going to transition to Kenmon the King Evans. Last at the Bare Knuckle FC Daytona Beach, where Kenmon, his hometown where he's from, put on the performance of the night. Knockout of the night. I think within 40 seconds, Kenmon was absolutely the king that night, and the interview is absolutely awesome. He talks about trying to become the first bare knuckle two-weight class champion, and then also very sad tragedy hit him and his family. And he wants to turn it into triumph. Just a very, very deep, great interview. So that's Kenmon the King Evans. And then lastly, we finalize with the monster, Uli Diaz. He's one of our favorites. He's been on probably 3-4 times over the last year or two. Titan FC, Bare Knuckle. Just a huge fan of Uli, his circle. He talks about his girlfriend Dana and about WWE. He talks about a big 2021 on the horizon. Maybe even a crossover of the Brock Lesnar type or the Rock type, sports entertainment, big fights. So it's a great show. It's packed. Like I said, guys, I'm sorry I'm a little under the weather. We're going to keep it going. The show must go on. We're going to go with Jim, the Bare Knuckle Beast Alers, Kenmon the King Evans, and Uli, the Monster Diaz, on the Fight Bananas podcast. All right, guys, here we go. Fight week. Bare Knuckle FC 14, Friday the 13th. Insane. My main man, Jim, the Beast, Bare Knuckle Beast Alers. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How's everything?
Man, we're doing great, brother. We're doing great. We are so excited for you. We're so excited for this week. Fight week coming up. How's everything going? How's been the last, going through Halloween, the family and everything? How's everything on your end?
Man, everything's been good, as good as we can get it in this crazy world that we're living in right now, election time and
right.
The whole, everything that's happening and just trying to make the best of what's happening.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, man. We always love chatting with you, but it's I know it's that time. I know the mentality's changing a little bit. The weight going down a little bit. First and foremost, before so much about the fight and kind of past it, there's just been so much. The press conferences and the sit-downs and the one-on-ones and the interviews. If you could just put all that stuff aside, like what do you just your opponent, Luis Palomino, the champ for Bare Knuckle FC, 155, just him and the fight itself, what are you taking most out of it?
I really just looking to cement my name, into the history books for bare knuckle. I just want people to think of bare knuckle and they think of Jim Alers. The same way, you think of the UFC, you think of Hoist Gracie, Stephen Bonner, Forrest Griffin, these guys that really created it and started it. So I think it's a sport that's going to be around for a while. I think it's gaining a lot of momentum. And, I just want to go in there and give exciting fights for my fans. I think I know that I'm very confident now in myself that I think I didn't have that before. I always knew I was a good fighter, but I don't think I had that confidence before. And I think, now that I have it, I've just been kind of unstoppable with it. And, I'm just excited to go in there and just put a show on for the fans and do what I do best.
Right. It's pretty incredible you said that. There's three things I want to really take it, but right there at the end is that your game has just leveled up so much. I've been a Jim Alers fan for 7 years. We've been watching you, the transitions and how good you are on the ground. Of course, the UFC days. And then, I remember your first bare knuckle fight. I'm like, okay, this should be interesting. And I've never seen anyone. And if I can the Fight Finesse, we had our top 5 bare knuckle FC fighters of all time. We're about to do a video on it. And I have you as number 1. Hasn't been a fighter that has joined Bare Knuckle FC has done more than you and has done it in a better fashion. It just seems like you picked up this sport, this kind of organization better than any other fighter. Like, I'm not trying to gas you up. I'm spitting facts, I think. Am I off base on this?
No, man, I think it's just something that's kind of always been in my blood. I figured, I used to fight bare knuckle for free back in the backyards,
right.
And we used to film it on the old VHS. Because we thought we were going to be the next Kimbo Slice, being from South Florida. He was like someone that a lot of people looked up to. And this was before the big UFC fights started coming up, and that was before I wanted to be in the UFC. I was like, man, we can be the next YouTube sensation. And I think it's crazy. It's really crazy to me because we didn't know what we were going to get into.
Right.
But I always knew I had heavy hands. And, most of in my MMA fights, I've dropped people and rocked people a lot of times, but, why risk, them throwing a lucky punch? I knew that I can take them down and submit them. So that was most of the game plan. So in bare knuckle, I can't do that. So I got to keep hitting them with those heavy hands. And, it's been working out so far, but most importantly, I've just been having a good time, having a fun time. I think, I just kind of got that pressure off of winning or losing, and the main factor really is have a good time and enjoy the time that I have because I can't fight forever.
Right. I agree with that. And then Reggie Barnett. So I talked to him a week ago, and we talked about, of course, his fight, and we, of course, brought up your fight. You guys are the main event. They're the co-main. And for one, Reggie was so pro Jim Alers. He's like, he's my dude. He's like, I've been in a couple of the same locker rooms with Jim pre-fight. And he goes, it's just something about it, man. He has a great aura. There's a excitement, but he's very, very, ready. Like he says, I've seen the beast. Like I've seen it backstage. When you say that, the mentality, what's that little click? What's that little term? Because, I see you all the time, great family guy. We see you all the time, promoting other young fighters and all this. And you just seem like this, last time we talked, we had a great talk about philosophy and stuff you want to do outside the fight. But then all of a sudden it clicks and you're just the baddest MRFer in Bare Knuckle FC. What's that mentality? What's that little switch that you turn there?
How do I separate it? Is, man, there's a time for fun and everything, but once we get in there and we're in that squared circle, it's me, it's my opponent, and the referee. And, I know that my opponent has been training very hard, to take me out, and it's strictly business. I'm in there to get something done, and I'm going to try to do it in the most vicious, fastest way possible, because nobody wants to be in there for 5 rounds.
Right.
You know, bare knuckle is not like, any other sport. I can't, in MMA, sometimes you'll be in there 5 rounds and maybe you might just get taken down, and, you can get through the whole fight without a scratch. But if you go 5 rounds in bare knuckle, especially if you're really in there committing and doing what David Feldman wants us to do, which is, toe the line and getting each other's faces, then, you're going to come out with a few, scrapes and cuts, and, I don't want to do that. So I have to make that switch. And I know that for that 10 minutes, I can release the beast. And, after that, it's back to being, smiles and laughs.
Right. There you go. You mentioned David Feldman. He, his leadership with Bare Knuckle FC, really leading it, really heading with the app and streaming. It's just, it's 2020. You'd have to evolve and adapt. It's just new times out there. But it just always seems like if I could be just blunt, you're honest, the relationship just always seems been a tad rocky. And then also I saw him on social media. And hey, we all know Paige Van Zandt's a great draw, big draw. I'm excited for her fight, her debut, all of this. I really am. But I saw, already they're kind of propping up and pushing this Super Bowl weekend fight in Tampa and Florida and all this, and the biggest fight ever. And I look down on the IG and I see Bare Knuckle Beast Jim Alers. He's like, hey, there's a huge fight this damn weekend on the Friday the 13th. How's your guys' relationship? And do you sometimes feel slighted? That's like, dude, I'm right here. Like, I'm undefeated. I'm dropping people. I'm the guy. Like, I feel like they're trying to find that guy, but you might be the goddamn guy right there in front of their face.
Yeah, I think it's, you kind of see it in a lot of promotions. I mean, me and David, we're back and forth sometimes, but we're very cool. He's understanding, and I'm kind of understanding too, in the fact that I get it. You always want to bring in that big name. You see the UFC does it all the time. I know the UFC says, oh, we really blah, 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 but they bring in these freak show fights all the time. They do it. They brought in that heavyweight boxer that faced Randy Couture, I forgot his name. CM Punk. They brought it. They bring in these guys because they're just looking for that next big payday, I would say. The one that a lot of fans want to tune in either to see them win or see them lose.
Right.
But I kind of feel that bare knuckle still doing that in a way. But like I said, man, I know you're bringing in these guys sometimes and you're paying them big money for their one and dones. You bring in these guys who had a lot of MMA fights, but what have they done for bare knuckle? And for me, I just feel like I'm constantly proving myself over and over and over again. And I just finally happy that I'm getting that recognition and getting this title shot after going through a tear in 4 fights in 6 months, just kind of beating everyone that they put in my way. Right.
And can I ask, is that a good chip on your shoulder to have? Like, Jim, I always have a chip. That's just who I am. I wake up probably, a tad angry or a tad like, hey, I should be here or there, and I just want to prove everyone and prove this person wrong and just keep working and grinding. That's just a kind of part of my DNA. Do you think that's a little bit of a good chip to have, is like, hey, I'm going to keep on proving these guys wrong, and we see it in the results of your undefeated run?
Yeah, I feel that people, still to this day just kind of don't really understand how I'm going in there and striking with people. I think people still look at me as that jiu-jitsu guy. I think sometimes they think, oh man, he's just in there going wild, throwing things. But, everything I'm throwing, it's been planned. I call it controlled chaos is what's happening in there. And we drill these movements over and over and over again. And you can see as more bare knuckle shows coming on, more and more people are kind of, I don't want to say stealing my style, but you're starting to see a lot more people fighting the way I fight.
Right.
And it works out for them. So,
it's
I think that's pretty cool. I've heard people say, I got to release my inner bare knuckle beast, so, I like to hear that. But, man, I think that's really what it is that I just want to keep going out there and showing people that I can hang, with the best of the best, and whoever they're going to throw at me, I'm going to go out there and put on a show. No one's going to go out there and just demolish me. That's for sure. And if you do beat me, you're gonna have a very hard time doing it.
There we go. Man, we're going to have two last questions for Jim Alers, the Bare Knuckle Beast. Main event, 155-pound title, Friday the 13th on that Bare Knuckle FC app. Make sure you go get it, download, subscribe, all those good stuff. Jim, two last things. One is like you kind of brought it up a little bit about other fighters stealing a copy. You just have something that no one else has conquered yet or can do, is when you just jump off the line. Like no one really attacks that line as much as you. It feels like it's like an onside kick on football right away. It just always seems like you have the ball first. There's just a really big, I think, advantage on your side with it. How did you come up with it? Where did you get that from? And do you see yourself going with it, always? Or is it like, I'm going to change it up and maybe be a little bit laid back and not show them that to kind of almost, it's a different game plan kind of a thing. So where did you kind of come up with, I'm jumping off this line and I'm throwing my hands?
Growing up, my dad always said, he told me, if anyone gets in your face, they're in your face for a reason. They're in your face because they have a vicious intent in their mind. So if someone comes in your face, you better hit them first, because if not, they're there to hurt you. So damn, that's close enough. That 3 feet is close enough to my face. So I said, hey man, I need to be first. I need to hit them first. I need to let them feel my power right off the bat. And I believe that just when they feel that first punch, it just changes everything. Their game plan goes out the window, and now they're a step behind trying to catch up the whole time.
Right. I see that as well. Like I said, Luis Palomino, the story has been
written. Stand there in the middle with me. Gonna get hit.
There we go. It's we can't wait for the fight, Jim. The buzz, the press, the videos. Like I said, it's just been so much. Do you think after this fight, one way or another, can you see a something that you guys can shake hands, be like, hey man, we've had a lot of great history together. It's been, I think, really positive for the sport of Bare Knuckle FC. You guys are in an amazing main event. It always takes two to tango. I feel like Luis being the champ, and if you take that title, is great for Jim Alers moving forward. Can you see a wavelength, a comic book ending of you guys shaking hands and just moving forward?
Yeah, man. Before all this, we were very cordial and civil. We trained together. If we didn't like hang out and call each other,
right.
If we saw each other, we said, "What's up?" And if he was fighting, I was always rooting for him. He was rooting for me. And in the end of the day, this is all business. And that's how it should be. I think people who take it further than that, I don't think they should be MMA fighters or in general, because we're all trying to make a living doing what we love. And at the end of the day, just like any old fashioned street fight, you knuckle up, whatever the problem is. And, at the end of the day, you shake hands and that's it. It's over with and you move on. So I'm hoping that we can do that, because, I think Louis is actually a good man, I would never disgrace someone's character. He's a good father. He's a good person, does a lot for the community, and hopefully we can do that. Maybe we move forward and do those kind of things together.
Oh, man, that's amazing to hear. We can't wait. The world is waiting for this fight. Friday the 13th, Jim Alers going for the 155 title for Bare Knuckle FC. Jim, my man, this is it. Fight week. Any last words, any last things you want to get off your chest? The platform is yours, my man.
Man, I just want everybody to tune in. If you guys didn't get tickets, I believe it might be sold out for this fight. So make sure you download the Bare Knuckle TV app. You can download that app on my Instagram profile. Go to that profile, download the app, grab a couple friends, grab a couple of beers, and enjoy the fights on Friday night. We're almost there, 7 days away, baby.
There we go. Jim Alers, my man, much respect to you. Have a good weight cut. Be healthy this week, and we'll talk to you soon. We'll see you after the fight, all right? All right, guys, here we go. This is the Bare Knuckle FC 14 mega podcast. I'm so pumped to have him back on the show. We had him on last fight week. Maybe we're your good luck charm, Kenmon, but we'll speak on that in a second. But my man, the king, Kenmon Evans, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Man, we're doing good, man. We're doing so good. Man, so excited for you. It's fight week once again. Before we kind of talk about this fight and going forward, let's put a bow on the last one. We talked after the fight. How did you feel, a day later, a week later? How was the hands doing? How did you feel outside the ring?
I felt real good. Nothing changed, nothing new. I was perfectly fine. My hand, my body, everything was just normal, like me just getting out of a fight. To be honest, I'm not disrespecting the other fighter, but I don't feel like I was in the fight. So I didn't sweat. Nothing really got going. I didn't really get no work. So it was basically like me walking to the ring and walking back. That was basically it.
Wow. So the knuckles were fine. The hand was fine. Nothing was messed up at all?
No. It was sore the night of the fight, and then the morning, when morning came, it was nothing after that. I don't know what happened, or it looked like it was going to swell up, or it felt like it was swole, or just soreness, or like real raw and tender a little bit. But other than that, when the morning came, everything was perfectly fine.
Oh, for sure, man. Like I said, so back on that, Bare Knuckle FC took over Daytona. It was 9/11. It was an insane show. Hector Lombard's in the main, Thiago Alves, the main event, all that. It was a phenomenal show. But nothing, I'm telling you, the highlight, the real, the thing we keep on seeing on a loop still to this day was your knockout. It was the knockout of the night. How has your life, has it changed different, or has it been the exact same since that night? It was a phenomenal performance by you.
It has changed a little bit. I mean, I cannot lie about that. I mean, my fan base has grew. A lot of fans texting me for autographs, emailing me, and inboxing me on Instagram and Facebook. So a lot has changed. Bare Knuckle has brought me back to the spotlight because of boxing and their shenanigans. But I feel, it's good. And the knockout reel, by itself, 1.1 million by itself on one screen, and then another 150,000. So it's real good. And they already gave me a name, the Standout Star.
Right.
As soon as I heard that, I'm like, yeah, I like that name. 'Cause I stand out from every star or everybody that's in the league, in the combat sport of that bare knuckle. So it's like, I'm glad that they see something different. I'm glad that they see something that's special or whatever. Only thing I kind of felt a little bad. Well, not even felt bad. I kind of was a little mad about a little bit. Like, I'm seeing everybody else getting promoted more than me. So it's like, dang, when I finally got my picture or whatever, I'm just like, dang, it's like 8 days away from the fight, and they just not putting my picture up or promoting or advertising me. Like, you feel what I'm saying? But not taking nothing away. It is what it is. I am the new fish. I am the new person in town. So I get it. It is what it is. But out of this fight, they have no choice but to do the same.
Right. Kenmon, so there's two things I want to take it with that. One is, I love it. I've talked to so many people. I think it's a underrated, not motivation, but you still got that chip on your shoulder. Kenmon, I got the chip on the shoulder. You know what I mean? It's why I wake up early. It's why I do this. It's why you run a little bit more. It's maybe you're going to want not just a win. You're going to want another, show out, knockout to say, hey, bare knuckle, you think I'm playing? I'm here to be the standout star. You know what I mean? I think that's really good for you. And then back to the nickname, the star, the standout star. Man, you know me, your boy John Radford, helped coaching you out. We talk all the time about it. And we talked as soon as when we heard you were going to enter that Bare Knuckle FC world, I was like, wow, like, Kenmon is perfect for this. Like, you do. Let's just be honest. You look different. You're so long. You're so lean. You got a great look. I was like, when I heard that you were going to enter the Bare Knuckle FC ring, I was like, wow, Kenmon is just going to, move heads. Like, people are going to be like, oh, I want to see this again. So, okay, let's bring it to Bare Knuckle FC 14. Cedric Johnson. So for one, how crazy is this? He fought Pete White boxing alum, your boy Chris Mixon, 3-4 weeks ago. His professional MMA debut. Mixon got the win on the feet, on the ground. Now you're going to fight where you guys can't go to the ground. How is it? That's crazy. It's like a camp war almost.
I mean, to be honest, I've been seeing them on the internet selling out, calling me names, and all types of stuff, which is, I get it. But the thing about it, I'm a man before I'm a fool at the end of the day. I mean, bro, you don't know me, so all the selling out that you're doing, name calling, all that stuff, I'm just overlooking, because at the end of the day, you're trying to get a name. I mean, I really don't know nothing about you, never heard of you, it's like you really don't have a background that I could say I can just look you up or even have the thought to look you up. So really, I'm not impressed. I'm not bothered. I'm not threatened. You really have to come out and try to beat me. Like, I understand you fought my own teammate or whatever, and then even that, I see you posting, people showing me posters of the video that you posting about my teammate because you knocked him down twice. Okay, like I said, that's a part of the game. I don't care about that. Did you get the win at the end of the day?
Right.
So at the end of the day, anybody can talk chain, but it's about the dollars at the end of the day. So that's all he talking is change, man. We winning over here. So at the end of the day, man, I'm not, like I said, I'm not threatened by him. I'm not even, to be honest, this camp, I did less sparring, to be honest, because at the end of the day, it's really no threat or nothing. My conditioning is off the scale right now, so he really have to worry about lasting for like 40 to 50 seconds, because I'm trying to end this quicker than that minute and 30 seconds from the last one.
Wow.
So he has to worry about me. I don't have nothing to worry about. And that little hook and all of that, you got to hit way harder. I've been hit harder than more like from a lot of people that's deep in the game, that's been in the game, that's established themselves as almost the best or is the best. I don't spar with 6'5", 6'7", 8 dudes that's 280 that hit hard, even lower than that, 155. Cats that hit harder than heavyweights that I don't spar. So it's nothing that he's bringing to the table that I'm threatened by or worried by.
Right.
And feel like his IQ is low as hell. Because I saw the fight, you didn't mix nothing up. You barely. And then the plan like that, I don't even want to waste my time even talking about it. But at the end of the day, he has to gain off of me.
Right.
If he beat me, he'll be a bigger star than his whole career since he's been in the game.
Right. And back to one thing you said, I want to kind of really shed some light on. Like I said, man, the whole family, Pete White, John Radford, and then all the guys, a lot of guys that you sparred with, trained with, hit with, right? They all tell me the same thing. They say, yeah, Kenmon, we all know how long he is. We know the reach. We know how slick the boxing skills are. We all know the jab. But the one thing people don't know is they say you have the strongest, deepest chin in the game that they've ever seen. They've seen, our Mike Davis. They say they rock, he can throw, and he threw super hard. Kenmon's like, no, I'll eat that for breakfast. What do you got for lunch now? Like, they say your chin is incredible.
Yeah,
so
like I've been hit by hard, like a lot of, like I said, like even Mike Davis, like I said, won the 155 or whatever. But to be honest, like I've been hit by everything with the kitchen table and the sink. So it's like, what can he bring that's gonna match to that? Like, he gonna have another kitchen sink on top of another kitchen sink, because once I get hit hard, it just bring out that dog in me. And then, like I said, it's been a while since the real me and everything around the board has came out. And do I think this fight is going to bring it? No. I really think it's got to be a board fight for me. And I'm just kind of like trying to like stay focused, because my sister just died today, and just trying to keep my head focused on the fight and just hurry up and get back and make sure my family is good. That's all.
Oh, man, Kenmon, I didn't know that, man. I'm very sorry to hear that, brother. I'm very sorry.
Oh, it's okay, man. I'm dealing with it, man. It is what it is. I mean, it's part of life. And like I said, I'm just trying to stay focused and just do what I do, get my job done, and come home to my family and just be around my family. That's all.
Man, like I said, very, very sorry. Two last little quick questions, and I'll definitely let you go. Like I said, I didn't know that, and I really do appreciate you.
Okay,
appreciate your time. Okay, man. One thing you said, and I've been a huge fan of you, and then I love people that really they put it out there. They tell you what what's going to happen or what they want, what their goals are. And you said you want to be a 2 weight class champion underneath the Bare Knuckle FC, ring, the banner. So, not trying to think too much ahead, to be a 2 weight class champion, like, what do you think next? Well, what's your outlook after this fight? Is there a special name you want to hit, or do you want to fight for one of those titles pretty soon to try to get both of them underneath that Pete White W boxing banner?
This is what I want, and I really want Dane Feldman, the CEO, the chairman, our boss, to really see. I want both weight class. I'm going to be in both weight class, and I'm going to take over both weight class. Now, only thing I look at in that, I'm not greedy. We're not greedy or whatever. It just basically just reward me for what I'm worth. That's all I care about or whatever, because at the end of the day, I'm in the sport for making sure my family and everything is straight and us being stable and everything else. And plus, I'm trying to make the sport as well as big as it's getting as right now. And out of all fighters, and just not being cocky or whatever, I do stand out, and I am on that road of doing that. Right. I will fight anybody, but I'm not for to keep fighting at the same pay or whatever. Like I said, just reward me. If you see, like, it's just like at any job, you see any fighter or whatever, not even fighter, any worker or a co-worker doing their job or whatever throughout the month and everything else or whatever, what you do, you reward them. You give them a raise or you do something or whatever. Saying I personally ask them for or personally talk to them. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I just don't want to be fighting other people and I'm not gaining nothing from it. Like this fight right here, I'm not gaining nothing from this fight. He don't have a name. He don't whatever. It's cool though. I love the fight. It's in Miami. I got a good little vacation away, but I didn't think it was going to be like what it is, me finding out about my sister. But it is what it is. I'm dealing with it. But I just want to gain something. I've been in the game too long, and I've been on the sideline for so long. So it's like everything I do now, it has to matter. And right. I want to leave that legacy that I didn't dodge. I did everything they wanted me to do. Now I'm just asking to be helped by give me what I deserve. Right. So if that makes sense. No, it makes perfect sense. It's, hey, they're lining them up, you put them down. They want one, you want the reward, and hey, let's just be honest, it's a business. They call it show business. It's people go, they pay, they're paying for the app, all that. At the end of the day, let's just be honest out there, it is a business. So, but I think after this performance, and if it's like the first, I think there's just no doubt about it. I think they know you're a star, and I think after this performance, the whole world, you know what I mean? Like, this is it. You 1 million. We're going to talk about 20 million after this. You know what I mean? Last question. Bare Knuckle FC 14. It's Friday the 13th. South Florida, like you said. It's not in Daytona. But it's still in the home state. Wrap a bow. What can you tell the people, all the listeners, all the watchers, everyone that's going to download that app to watch you? What's the performance going to be like in Kenmon the King's eyes? Very easy, and just being focused, not being too cocky or whatever of what I'm boasting about, but I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do my job, and mark my words, once I take over both of these weight classes, mark my words, if Beltran is still the champion of the heavyweight, I promise you I will take his belt. And he's a good dude. I talked to him before and everything else or whatever, but I will take that belt from him. Wow. Okay. Now we're going. All right. Man, we're so excited. Like I said, the whole card is stacked. The main event's fantastic.
Palomino and Jim Alers. Reggie Barnett Jr. I know you guys will vibe really well together. I just talked to him. Great dude, old school boxer type. I think you guys will really gel. It's a stack card. Bare Knuckle FC 14th, Friday the 13th. Kenmon the King. Oh, last thing, the platform is yours. Any kind of sponsors? What's your IG handle? Stuff like that. Throw out there, and we'll let you roll.
Okay. I'd like to shout out all my sponsors: Atlantic Family Dentry and New Smyrna Beach, Coyote, Seabreeze Tap House, my team Pete White Boxing, the Taxi in Daytona Flat, Triple A out of Detroit Real Estate. I'd like to thank everybody, and my Instagram King Evans 386. I'd like to thank everybody from showing love and support and being in my corner when everything wasn't going well and is still here. I'd like to thank you, Dave, for supporting me as well throughout the years and having me on your show and just keeping my name in people's tongues and minds. And like I said, I shout out to Bare Knuckle. And I just love everybody. I just appreciate everything, man, the love and support. And I'm just coming to do my job.
Man, we love you, my man. Man, so much love, respect. Take care of the family and all. We're going to send a lot of prayers your way. And the fans are excited, man. We cannot wait to watch you Friday the 13th, Bare Knuckle FC 14th. Kenmon the King Evans, my man. We'll talk soon, all right, brother?
Yes, sir. Thank you, man.
All right. Wow. What an absolute great interview. Thank you. Big ups to our guy, Kenmon the King Evans. We're going to keep on rolling. We're about to do the Uli Diaz. At the end, I'm going to do my top 5 Bare Knuckle FC fighters of all time since Bare Knuckle FC 1 to Bare Knuckle FC 14. We're about to hit that. And also, guys, just want a quick update. We are less than 20 days away from Tyson Jones Jr. It's the biggest boxing match of the year. It's been talked about, pictures. We've been all over it at Fight Banana, so we're so pumped. Less than 20 days away. So much is going on. Real quick, absolute big shout out to our guys at Rude Venice on IG. Give them a follow, man. Just a real cool, clothing line. They're all down with MMA, mixed martial arts, really into boxing. Rude Venice on IG, man. Give them love, give them follows. Give them a follow right now on the IG. And let's keep it rolling with Uli Diaz and then the top 5 Bare Knuckle FC fighters of all time. All right, guys, here we go. Absolute one of our favorites back on the Fight Bananas podcast, the monster himself, Uli Diaz. How you doing, my man?
And I'm doing great. Thank you, Dave. I appreciate the opportunity again, brother.
Absolutely, brother. Anytime you want, you know that. Huge fans of you. It's just crazy. Uli, I felt like we first talked over a year ago, and, the boxing career was phenomenal. And then you got signed up, Titan FC. You're going to MMA. Our main man, Lex McMahon, hooking you up. And then the bare knuckle thing comes through. I just think you have been an absolutely amazing run over this last 10, 12, 15 months. Do you feel it? The momentum for the monster is incredible, brother.
My brother, I definitely feel the momentum. It's been a blessing, man. Life has been great to me. Even through this whole COVID thing, it's been good to me, man. I appreciate you guys for that. Thank you. Absolutely.
Like I said, okay, so 1-0 under the Bare Knuckle FC banner. You can see all the momentum that they're having. The whole company's been on fire. They're doing great things. They're back down South Florida. I thought we were hoping to see the monster on the card. How does it feel to be back part of Bare Knuckle FC and back on the maybe the biggest card of their career?
Man, I love it, man. I love the promotion. David Feldman is a great guy. He's really doing a great job of what he has going on, and it's also going to be able to fight in front of my hometown, man. It's going to be a great experience.
Right, and then is that something you just have to every time you see that bare knuckle banner heads down to South Florida? Is that just something that you got to jump on? It's just something, the energy is with you. The 305 loves you. South Florida loves you. Is that just like a must? When bare knuckle goes down south, you got to get on the card.
Well, it's a must, and the promoters know that when they come down here with any fight promotions, they know to get me on the card if they want to sell tickets, you know?
Yes, that's for sure, man. That's what I mean. Like, the people love you. I talk to so many people behind the scenes, and everyone tells me the same damn thing. They like, Uli's the man. He does great stuff down there in South Florida. He does great stuff for all the promotions they jump on. How does that make you feel that you just have so much great support from a lot of big names in the industry of combat sports?
Man, it makes me feel great. It's a blessing, brother, from where I've come from to where I'm at now. You know, it's like a dream come true, man, and I'm living my dream. So they say if you do what you love, you never work a day in your life, and that's how I feel.
That's true. That's facts right there. So 1-0 underneath the banner. What can you take from your first fight underneath Bare Knuckle FC to now the second one? Is there something you think you definitely learned? Is there something you want to change? Or no, you got the job done the first time. You just want to go in and be yourself?
Well, we got the job done the first time, but you definitely live and learn. So I learned a couple things off that, and hopefully we'll get to show you. Not hopefully, we will get to show you this next Friday coming up, Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th, the Monster on Bare Knuckle FC 14. The world cannot wait. The card is stacked. Great co-main event. Win versus Barnett Jr. Also the main event. Huge. Maybe the biggest fight underneath the promotion's history. Jim Alers versus Luis Palomino. What are your two takes on those two mega fights?
Man, between that and Reggie, that's going to be a great fight. I wouldn't know where to put my money on that one. Both of them are great fighters and great guys. When it comes to Baboon and Alers is also a great guy. Always treated me well, but Baboon is like a brother to me. And so I'm gonna have to go with Team Baboon, brother. And Baboon's an animal. You know, he's got great fight history. And, you know, and I think we're gonna see fireworks in that one.
Absolutely. I think that is the fight. It's sometimes, the main event has names, but sometimes the fight itself never steps up to it. I think this is going to be probably fight of the night. Alers versus Palomino, 155-pound title. I think this is an insane fight for the company. But I'll say, so the last time I think I saw you, so Bare Knuckle FC, that was around 5 months ago?
That was in February 15th, the day after Valentine's Day.
Yeah, look at that. Time's flying through. What has the biggest difference in yourself or in the fight game? What has been the biggest difference in this last 10 months for you to show the world?
Well, like I said, throughout this COVID, I haven't stopped working out once. I built a whole gym in my backyard. I got a ring, bags, all types of stuff. So I haven't taken a day off, man. So I'm beyond ready for this fight coming up. I can't wait to unleash the monster inside the squared circle. Man,
we can't wait. And we also saw you were out there training with Lex McMahon in Alabama, right?
Yes, sir. I was part of breaking Lex the fight camp.
Yeah.
It was an honor to be out there with a bunch of UFC guys. I got some training with some of the top guys in the world. Again, a dream come true, man. And I can't wait. Lex is now at the end of the month, so I can't wait to get through my fight and go help him out with the rest of his camp.
Very cool. And we talked to a couple people that was at that camp, and I just think it's so much how much we have. I've always respected and loved Lex McMahon, but now to almost put up and shut up. Like all the promoters talk a lot. He's literally putting his life in that cage, in that ring. You know how hard it is. It's insane. I think it's what a great move and what a respectful move what Lex McMahon is doing, and then all the money that he's earning to give it all back. I think it's incredible. What a great job that Lex McMahon's doing at the end of the month.
I have nothing but the utmost respect for Lex and for all our veterans. He's doing like you said. He's not just talking; he's walking. So, God bless Lex, and he's gonna do great. I know he is.
Absolutely. A couple last things, Uli. We know it's Fight Week Friday, November 13th, Bare Knuckle FC 14th. Make sure you get that app, download that app, keep subscribing, show that love and support for all the Bare Knuckle fighters. But one night, it was a couple weeks ago, I'm a big fan of wrestling and WWE, checking it out always, and I see Raw Underground. And I'm looking in the back. I'm like, wait a second. That's my guy. That's my man. That's my man Uli back there. So how did that come to be? And is there any way, you can see going in that direction in the future for yourself?
I'm sorry, Dave. Can you repeat that one more time? Because they kind of broke up on my end.
Okay, I'm sorry, brother. Yeah, I was saying we saw you at Raw Underground as a kind of a backup as an extra. And one, how did that come to be? And then 2, can you see you yourself? You're such a great character, a great personality, such a great dude. Can you see yourself going into that the sports entertainment genre?
I can. That'd be a dream come true in itself, and that came to be, man. You know, my girlfriend wrestles for WWE.
Yep.
She got me the shot as an extra, and I was on it twice. The first time I got to wrestle with against Dolph Ziggler, which was again another dream come true, a blessing in itself. And then the next time I was an extra. But you know what? Just all I got to say is look out for me in the future in that aspect itself.
Whoa, there we go. That would be bananas, they would say. That's how the kids are saying it on the street. But Uli Diaz, man, big fans of you. We cannot wait your fight. Not looking past this, but you do so much. You're such a great fighter, boxer, now bare knuckle. What is 2021 outlook for you? Is it getting back in the MMA underneath that Titan FC banner? Do you want to continue this run with bare knuckle FC, or we're going to see you back put the gloves back on?
Man, you might see all three, brother.
Wow.
I'll tell you this, just like you just said, I don't like to look past anything or anybody. So Friday the 13th, next Friday, I have my opponent Benedetto on the way. As soon as I run over him, you'll hear some big announcements.
There we go. Uli, the Monster Diaz, Bare Knuckle FC 14. My main man, appreciate your time. Any last words? The platform's yours. Any sponsors, plugs, anything you want to say? It's yours, my man.
My brother, big shout out to my management team, Game Time Management, Dynamic Wellness, always taking care of me, Primal Nutrition for feeding me and keeping me right with my weight. Big shout out to you, man, Fight Bananas. You guys are amazing. Big shout out to Pro Styles Athletics, which is my strength and conditioning. And big shout out to my family, friends, and everybody that's got my back. You know what I mean? I truly appreciate you. I'm doing this for you guys, man. Keep your eyes open for Friday the 13th.
We can't wait. I'm just going to give one advice to all the fans out there when they purchase Bare Knuckle FC 14. When Uli steps in the ring, when Uli fight starts, don't blink.
Absolutely. I tell everybody the same thing. Don't blink.
There you go, my man. Appreciate you. We'll talk soon.
Thank you, Dave. Yes, sir.
All right, guys, it is time for another edition of Top 5. Today we are going to do Top 5 Bare Knuckle FC fighters. Guys, we've had Top 5 underrated, lightweights, Top 5 upcoming fights. We're going BKFC fighters. It's been a year and a half. Bare Knuckle FC 14 is November 13th, Friday, November 13th. Make sure you get that app. So we're going to go 5-1. Here we go. There was a ton of tremendous fighters we could pick, could choose. And, guys, I'm not going on what they've done prior to the Bare Knuckle FC ring. You know, Thiago Alves is an all-timer, but he's got one fight, one win, doesn't make the list. We're going what they have done inside that square circle. Number 5, just on the Fight Bananas podcast, our main man, Reggie Barnett Jr., 5-1 underneath the banner. I'm talking about Bare Knuckle FC 1 all the way now to the co-main event for that 135-pound title, Bare Knuckle FC 14. Reggie Barnett's done it all. I love his technique. I love his skill. And maybe the fastest fighter under the Bare Knuckle FC banner. Number 5, Reggie Barnett. Number 4, Luis Baboon Palomino. And some people might think it's too high, not high enough maybe. But, guys, he's 2-0 under the banner, and I am a huge Luis fan. Absolutely. I was there live when he won the title, and really in just devastating fashion. Within a minute, round 1 just got the job done. In and out, boom. Prior to the Bare Knuckle FC ring, just an all-timer. We are huge fans here of Luis Palomino. But, guys, 2-0 makes the list, but he has the opportunity to climb up the rankings. He has the opportunity to be number 1 versus Jim Alers in the main event of Bare Knuckle FC 14. So our number 4 is Luis Palomino, the 155-pound champion. Number 3, maybe a little controversial one, Artem Lobov. Artem is 2-0 underneath Bare Knuckle FC, and maybe you guys are, it's not enough. He's got the loss. What he's done for the brand. The fight with Jason Knight, Bare Knuckle FC 5, still to this day the greatest fight in Bare Knuckle FC history. And then the fight the next month versus Paulie Maldonado, Bare Knuckle FC 6. Of course, the rematch. He's been in some of the highest marquee, the biggest fights, and he's 2-1 underneath the banner. Artem, it was definitely just a integral part of the uprising, of the ascension of Bare Knuckle FC. So my number 3 man is Artem Lvov. Number 2, and I think the most underrated man in the sport, the heavyweight champion, Joey Beltran. 4-1-1 underneath the banner. He is the champ, no doubt about it. And there's so many guys that can challenge him, and that's why I love this. This is the heavyweight division for Bare Knuckle FC. You guys seen it. I know you've had everything with Godbeer, everything. There's guys on the rise, like a Dylan Klecker who's on the rise, guys that are coming into the Bare Knuckle FC family, like a Frank Mir. So he's going to have his hands full in 2021. But Joey Beltran just gets wins. He just gets the W and gets the job done. He can take hits. He can deliver 2-3 more. We are huge fans of Joey. Joey Beltran, our number 2 fighter for Bare Knuckle FC, the heavyweight champion, 4-1-1. And number 1, the number 1 man in the sport of Bare Knuckle FC, I don't think there's a debate. And after Friday the 13th, I think it's a cemented one way or the other. It's the Bare Knuckle Beast, Jim Alers. Jim has been on the show multiple times. We are huge fans of Jim, but beside that, what he does in that ring, 5-0, putting people away. Leonard Garcia, Julian Lane. What he does off the line is incredible. There's not another fighter in the sport that does it like Jim Alers. His fight is 5-round war with Caleb Harris. He's defeated Elvin Brito. Jim Alers has done it all. He is undefeated, 5-0. And now he has the shot to be the number 1 man in the sport, the lightweight champion, Luis Palomino versus Jim Alers, Bare Knuckle FC 14. There you go. There's my top 5. 5, Reggie Barnett Jr. 4 is Luis Palomino. 3, Artem. 2, the heavyweight champ, Joey Beltran. And number 1, the Bare Knuckle Beast, Jim Alers.